This is Beyond a Reasonable Doubt with your hosts, Mark Garrigus and Gary Smith.
EPS, how are you this fine 3-day weekend?
I'm well. How are you?
Very good. And you've had quite a busy week, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, quite a busy few months. Yeah.
You're killing it. You're killing it. You got your RD shirt on. We haven't given any swag out in a couple episodes. Why?
Well, because you have to pick the disparaging comments. I'm not going to do it. Excuse me. Sorry, frog in my throat there. Yeah, we just, you and I have, as you highlighted, both been very, very busy. And I think that the YouTube comments have not been top of mind. Not to say that we don't see them and we don't appreciate them, but we used to send them back and forth to each other. And I think we're both just a little busier than we were in those days.
Well, hopefully this weekend we get some good snark or next level.
Or, go out on a limb, something thoughtful and intelligent.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I'm just saying, people got to change it up.
Thoughtful and intelligent may go from T-shirt to hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. If you come out with something that's actually contributing to the conversation, maybe you get both. Who knows?
I'm fascinated by two things. The Diddy case has seemed to kind of suck the oxygen out of the usual trials of the century. You've heard me say for years that prior to the Trump era and during Trump 1, it kind of sucked the oxygen out of all trials of the century, which usually were May of each year. There would always be some case that was reputed to be trial of the century. During Trump 2, that kind of scandalous trial per year is back, and Diddy is obviously the one that's getting all the attention. It's hard for me to believe, but Harvey Weinstein is being retried right now. Isn't that unbelievable to you?
It is unbelievable. I've got to be honest with you. I learned that when you said it on your other podcast this week. That has not been, I think that the other Harvey Levin, has been so all encompassing with Diddy that it hasn't made TMZ. And that's sort of the one place that I frequent where I would see something like that. I don't read a lot of tabloid news. I'm more focused on harder news subjects. And then TMZ is sort of the one indulgence where I go there. So if they decide not to cover something like that, I'm not really going to know about it.
And, the other Megan Cuniff, who I like a lot, I've always liked a lot, she does not seem to be covering that at all. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe she is, but
no, she's been, from my reading of her socials, which I follow her fairly closely, she's been focused mostly on Diddy as of late.
Yeah, and the Karen Reed is kind of taking a back burner, but Karen Reed is fascinating for a number of reasons, not the least of which is, I think, Alan Jackson, who, in full disclosure, is a friend, former adversary turned colleague. I mean, he jumped from prosecutor to criminal defense, and Alan has just done, I think, a whale of a job in trial number 1 and has not let up in trial number 2. And I think I sent to you, and I did it in advance, so I want to disclose that I did not hoodwink.
And look, there it is. You send it to me in advance. My eyes don't go anywhere, and it's ready to go. Imagine that, Mark. Imagine that.
Okay, well then I'm going to press down hard. Set this up.
Okay, so this is a prosecution witness. It is of paramount importance that you understand that this is a prosecution's expert witness, and they put this gentleman on the stand to, I believe, talk about vehicle impact and things of that nature. So this is the prosecution's paid expert speaking about, all manner of what the prosecution's theory of the case is. And Karen Reed, for those who maybe haven't been listening or aren't in the weeds, Karen Reed is the Boston woman who is accused of going out drinking with her police officer boyfriend, going back to a house owned by a fellow police officer. Her story is that he got out of the car and goes into the party and she never hears from him again. So she drives off and the next morning goes looking for him and finds him in a snowbank outside of the house where the party was. The prosecution is claiming that she was mad at him and that they were fighting and she backed into him with her car and left him for dead. So this is the prosecution's expert witness, talking about vehicle impact. And this is the defense cross-examining him.
If I did the math correctly, sir, you've been pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree for 17 years, correct?
That is correct.
And you have not obtained it as you sit here today?
That is correct.
And yet there are the various documents that we've seen that state that you have obtained the Bachelor of Science, correct?
Again, with errors or misinterpretation. Yes.
Errors or misinterpretation that are you stating, but you would agree those errors or misinterpretation have been in existence for some time, correct?
Yes, I'm being made aware of them now, yes.
Yeah, and they haven't been corrected for some time, correct?
Correct.
Now, that's got to be the 15th or 20th time that I've watched that, and it gets funnier every time. I mean, what's not contained in that clip is that he has his CV that he uses to present himself as an expert witness and is available publicly and is not hard to track down. And that CV states that he got the Bachelor of Science, and the defense, being good at their job, unearthed the fact that no, in fact, he never completed his Bachelor of Science, and he's been misrepresenting himself for well over a decade.
Going on 2, he's closer.
Yes, going on
2 decades than he is the 1 decade.
Yeah,
and brings about kind of my bone of contention about expert witnesses. The idea of expert witnesses, I can't remember the last case that I had where I thought that an expert witness really moved the ball forward for a jury. I don't mind if it's it's kind of a non-jury situation, having an expert for some kind of a truly arcane or learned or specialized area, which is what the true definition of an expert is. But how this guy, just that little clip, how long was that clip? 40 seconds?
Yeah, 43. Yeah, I'm with you here, Mark. I think when you get into something like a forensic accountant, where it's a subject that, it can't really be understood by but a few people in the population, I think an expert witness makes a lot of sense in a situation like that. But for something like this, to put this buffoon up on the stand and allow Alan Jackson and his team to rip him to shreds like this, I mean, if I'm on that jury right now, I'm pretty much done with this trial after that clip. That's ridiculous.
I do not understand this trial. I don't understand what's happening in Massachusetts. I always say, where is the defense bar? And why aren't they raising holy hell? Because this is just too much. It's beyond the pale.
It's really something else. And, it's the fact that is the prosecution's witness that they prepared, they selected, and they put on the stand. And the fact that was missed and that they could not get ahead of this. That Alan, and by the way, this is a prosecutor who is a famed defense attorney who was hired specifically for this case. This is exactly the kind of guy who would know to go through the credentials of the people that he's putting up there and make sure that Alan Jackson, who is a well-respected and learned prosecutor turned defense attorney who's lauded in his field, is going to have a team of people ripping through the witness list and finding these kinds of gotcha moments so that he can make the Commonwealth look stupid. This is just, it's malpractice. Maybe not, but it's certainly verging on it.
I'll tell you, it's unforced errors. It really is unforced errors. I don't understand this case. I don't understand the Commonwealth bringing it. There was another case that I saw yesterday, and I meant to send you the clip. I've sent you a couple this week, but there was, look at you. You got, I saw that smug smile.
I mean, well, you meant to, so you should get half credit.
Okay.
Is this the CNN clip that you sent me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You did send that one to me, so I'll give you credit there. You did. So I'll just give me a second to pull it. But
look at that. So I did my homework.
I didn't think you were actually going to go to that one because it's just a little absurd. I don't know, I'm not necessarily sure how we're going to, well, whatever. We'll play it, but I laughed at that one. I thought that one might have just been something for you and I to laugh at together privately. I didn't know.
But It was, but I figured we could at least share it. Whether I have commentary, I may defer to you, but
I got news for you here, Mark. We're going to play it, but I'm not going to have much commentary either. So we'll play it and the audience can enjoy it. But this is a video Mark sent me that I got a chuckle out of for sure.
Congresswoman, you are now facing a federal charge, though. Are you afraid of what's going to transpire now?
You fight on, you fight on. You fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
Now, Mark, I'll admit that I first watched this on my phone when you sent it to me.
Please, for the benefit of those who are just listening as opposed to watching, can you describe what just happened there?
It's a 2-box CNN interview between an in-studio anchor in the left box and a New Jersey representative in the right box who was asked a question about having been charged with a crime, and then she just breaks into song. But Mark, what I was going to say is, upon watching this,
she's a congresswoman.
Well, that's yes, correct. Sorry, I said representative.
Can we just do that one more time, please, in case somebody missed it?
Hold on. Let me just. I want you to watch for it if we're going to play it again. Upon watching this time on a much bigger screen than when I originally watched it on my phone, the congressperson's camera flashes for a second right before she starts. So I'm not convinced this is an AI, but we can watch it again and you can look for that and we'll
and
see.
Maybe it is. We've been hornswoggled before.
Yes,
right?
we have. We certainly have. That was my fault.
Congresswoman, you are now facing a federal charge, though. Are you afraid of what's going to transpire now?
See how it moves?
You fight on, you fight on. You fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
Yeah,
okay, I saw the jump.
I'm suspect.
So the first person that can fact check us, what do they call it? Reader comments and prove whether it's real or whether it's AI. I guess that should be our new game, real or AI.
I think that's the game of life going forward. I'm not sure if you saw some of the stuff that Google announced this week, but we're getting into the murkiest of murky territories. You got to view everything with a hard level of suspicion, unless you're.
What's the other one where we got?
The one where in the was it? I think it was the Young Thug trial where we had. No, it wasn't Young Thug. It was the Georgia. Fannie Willis's boyfriend was singing "Baby Got Back."
Oh yeah.
That one was me. I got. I don't know. Sorry, I thought it was funny, and I didn't think it through that it was probably a deep fake.
Do you have that one, by the way?
Let's see here. Probably.
I mean, it really is. It's worth a second visit. And if the congresswoman was in fact AI'd, she's got a great voice. She shouldn't take it personally. I thought it's pretty funny. And if she wasn't AI and that was real, I've got a different comment.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I have it.
Now I remember the one with him testifying and when I say him, it was the paramour of Phony Willis, who was appointed as a special counsel to prosecute Trump and a number of other lawyers. Well, not just lawyers. I mean, a couple of lawyers pled guilty. I bet you they wish they could take that back. And other Confederates, I should say.
We're all going to find out live here whether or not the search I just did what I hope it did. So let's see what this is.
I'd like to read to the court the text messages between Mr. Nathan Wade and his lover, Fannie Willis. Dear Fannie, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. My oath of brothas can't deny. When my Fannie walks in with that fat ass, I want to make it rain with her campaign cash. I noticed that her butt was stuffed deep in the jeans she was wearing. I am hooked, and I can't stop staring. Oh, Fannie, I want to get with you and take your picture. My homeboys tried to warn me, but that big-ass butt you got makes me so horny. Fannie got back.
All right, so, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So it wouldn't be the first time we got. If the singing video is in fact a deep fake or an AI creation, which I am very strongly suspect it might be, but and
it was all because of the jump cut.
I always am looking for anything off in video these days, because the tools that they have now, I mean, the stuff that I have created to make fun of my friends would make you sick. So the fact that I can do it means that people who are actually skilled at it, which I am not pretending I am, I just am a casual nerd. So yes, I'm suspect of everything, but that flash right before she starts talking, that spiked my interest. I didn't see it the first time on my phone because I suspect the screen was just smaller. Maybe I wasn't paying attention because I was mainly listening. But that second time I'm on a much larger screen, and that really piqued my interest.
I love it. Okay, well, we'll find out soon enough.
Yes, we will.
I appreciate it. We'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll have one of the great mysteries solved.
There you go. All right, Mark, thank you so much for making some time for us, and we will see you all next week.
You got it. Thanks, GPS. Talk to you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Reasonable Doubt. Subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt Podcast.